It's time to go groundhog hunting with Jerry. Every week we talk with blue-collar business coach Jerry Eisenhower about the perennial, persistent, and perpetual problems that plague perplexed people. It's a mouthful, but Jerry just calls these problems groundhogs because just like in the classic movie Groundhog Day starring Bill Murray, Jerry knows that until you change the way you tackle your problems, the problems will just keep hanging out, being there, repeating themselves in your business over and over and over again. Jerry, which groundhog are we hunting today?
Hey, brother, we got a key one. And you know what I'm going to start? And I want to ask everybody this question. It's going to come out a little bit strange. But are you really happy? Are you really happy? And what I'm talking about by this is, you entered into the blue-collar industry. You own a blue-collar business. And you know something? You didn't enter this to be unhappy. You entered this, and the reason your business exists is to bring you your dreams. But earlier today, I had a meeting with a small company owner, a blue-collar business owner. And he's done some work for me, and I could tell by the quality of the work he was doing. That's actually why I called him over here. But what I found out, and I asked him, are you really happy doing this? And when I asked him that, his heart poured out to me. He started telling me about going into business, how he had gotten loan, and how his financial picture was fading away. Not only that, he was working from dawn to dusk, never seeing his family, never seeing his kids, and happiness wasn't there. Now, as I went through this, and I asked him a question, the guy's a friend of mine, not a client, but naturally the coach side came into play, and I'm trying to help this guy out. And I said, man, let me see if I can help you. What's going on? What is it? He said, well, Jerry, I can't afford to hire anybody to help me. And I said, you can't afford to hire anybody to help you. You really can't afford not to. Because what's happening here is you're doing this all alone. So your equipment is not being used near to capacity, because if you could come in with one helper, you could cut the time invested into my work by 1/2 or even more. So what you've got to do is look at doing that and building the business up. You've got to have something that can deliver your dreams. You're not happy. He said, nah, it's the truth. I'm really not. In fact, I'm probably not going to be in this business much longer. I said, well, do I need to start finding someone else to do this work for me? He said, nah, please don't do that just yet. But yes, I am working towards doing that. But the key thing is what he didn't stop and do. He didn't stop and take a look at that business from a 20,000-foot view. He didn't look down upon it. All he knows is, and he looks at today, he's not envisioning that picture of the business of where it could go, because what he does is in very high demand. He's facing the same frustrations that maybe you're facing out there. You can't find people that want to come to work in the blue-collar arena. But what you've got to do is not give up. You got to paint that picture on the wall. And what you've got to do, most of all, no matter what you do, no matter what your choices are, life is too short to not do something that makes you happy. Because once you do that, you never work another day in your life. You enjoy doing it that much. So Carter Taylor, I don't know if that's a groundhog that we're trying to kill today, but it was something that had such an impression on me today of watching someone who had a dream and is watching that dream go away. And maybe I helped him today, maybe I didn't. I'd really like to see him pursue that dream. But do you ever know people that fall into this category, guys?
Sure. Every day we see it in the service categories. And if you're in a service business and you're not happy serving other people or doing the work that you're doing, if it's not working out the way that you thought it was, find something else to do, please, because when you make yourself miserable in the job, when you do the same thing over and over and over again, expecting for it to get better, but it's not, and you can't figure out why, you may not think anybody can tell. They can. You may not
Well,
think it
that's
shows, it does. And all you're doing is providing a really negative experience for consumers, and you're giving the rest of the industry, blue collar services in general, a bad name. And you have a right to be happy. You have a right to do something that's giving you back the things that you want out of life. And if your job, if the business that you've created is not doing that for you, go find something else. It's okay.
It's okay. And the other thing about it is that's what you've got to also look at your people. If your people aren't happy doing what they're doing, working for you, believe me, it's going to show. In this particular case, I could tell the quality was gone. The reason the quality was gone was he hated what he was doing for a living. So instead of moving on, doing something that he really enjoyed, really relished, he's wallowing in misery. So, what's the advice from Jerry today? And I think Carter and Taylor would share this with you because you just said it, Carter. Find something. Find something that makes you happy. Don't look back in 20 years and say, I wish I'd have done this or I wish I'd done that. But the great thing about this is, guys and gals, you're in blue collar America. You are what makes America run. You are what turns the lights on. Only last night, we had a power outage at my house. I'm sitting here for 2.5 hours, no power, no electricity. And I put something on Twitter. When you lose something like this, it starts making you appreciate those things. So, like I said, look at what you're doing. Find something that makes you happy. Don't go through life going to work and hating it or dreading it. It's nothing to look back upon. You want to look one day at what you've accomplished in this world.
That's great advice. Jerry, I know people are going to want to connect with you. How do they do that?
Just look us up on the web, cbccoaching.com.
Thank you, sir. And we'll see you next time for more Groundhog Hunting with Jerry.